Good afternoon and happy Sunday. Today's video is going to be about why Christians initially fall into the New Age movement. Now, this is just my opinion, but some observations, especially from personal experience, but I'm going to give it a shot, and hopefully if it comes across this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Will be able to resonate or add some things in the comments, but it really boils down to a few factors, really. So I know many of us have had experiences with the narcissistic personality type, people that really just come to extract things and not really there's no reciprocity in the relationships, friendships, romantic, otherwise. And so a lot of times when we come across the road or stumbling block known as the narcissist, we are in odds. We are basically wavering in our own identity. We're looking for external validation, and so we seek answers outside of ourselves. And what better way than to find answers than going through a pseudo sort of spiritual philosophy such as the New Age? You know, things like angel numbers and tarot cards and spirit guides and everything else, which pretty much allows for demonic presence to enter your being. It seems like a solution. At first you feel like, at least in my experience, that you're getting these answers, but you start to realize that you are actually suffering because you've kind of gone down this rabbit hole. You're trying to make sense of these angel numbers, and if you don't know yourself through Christ, and you haven't realized it yet, God is not the author of confusion. So with the New Age movement comes a lot of confusion, and I find that a lot of people that are diehard New Age followers tend to be highly narcissistic. Now, are they necessarily full-blown narcissists? Not necessarily, just misguided. And so when you're looking for validation externally, you have a common grounds with the narcissist. Therefore, it makes you codependent, it makes you unstable in your ways. And I found when I was involved with the New Age, because I came from a narcissistic family dynamic and a lot of other things, I had a lot of time to sort of like I always meant well, like I never had a bad spirit in my bone, never really got involved with tarot cards and all that, but I used to carry the stones and whatnot. But I was also still very much a believer in Christ, and you can't serve two. So I started to have some revelations about things just as I was starting to heal, and I was starting to develop my identity again. Well, actually, it was always there, but when I took a break, and I've been in this season of just like basically working on myself and improving, I started to realize that a lot of the things in the New Age were basically counterfeit shadow aspects. Basically, we know that Satan is a copier, such as your haters, they copy a good thing. So everything that is existing in the kingdom of light also exists in the kingdom of darkness, but for a different purpose under different tenements. And so a lot of people tend to go towards like, oh, I'm spiritual, but most likely they're usually New Age followers because they don't have to worry about an actual all omnipotent alpha omega type of God. They can basically consider themselves that God. And so that's another reason why there's a lot of narcissism within the New Age movement, is because a lot of people consider themselves gods in the New Age movement. They are creators. They have the ability to manifest. If they're within the vortex, these portals, they can do such and such and such and such. And so you kind of want to like stray away from things that don't have like any stability. There's no actual foundational roots, and it's all sort of like this thing where it's like floating and it's open to interpretations, because that's, when you like look at your own self and your own self for guidance, and you just basically assume that you're God, you're gonna turn into a lot of problems. So eventually what happens, because this has happened to a lot of Christians, believers, like I'm telling the story now, you start to realize the difference. And so fortunately for me, like I decided that I needed to really develop spiritually and really see some results in my life. Because when I was in New Age, I was backpedaling like 15, 40 steps back, like I was drinking a lot and really just killing myself and my soul and allowing, you know, negative spirits into me. But at the same time, God has a hand in my life. So he basically was like, okay, now that you see the truth, are you willing to walk towards the light? Are you willing to walk towards the truth? So then I started, you know, really looking into, like, because I've always wanted to like get involved and study the Bible. Like, I should have known this since I was a child. I used to always find myself at Bible studies and things like that. And, you know, I was always approached by Christians, but they weren't, at least on a spiritual, I didn't feel like they had my best interest in mind. They were trying to indoctrinate me, and that was something that I did not want. So I kind of strayed away from all of that, but I always wanted to find a good church, etc., etc. So, you know, when you see things like angel numbers and things like that, there was another YouTuber that mentioned this, but I started connecting them to like Bible verses, and I actually did find the answers that I needed when I would see these particular numbers. And they're not just repeating numbers. Like I get 217. I forget which Bible verse in particular, but 8:28, Romans 8:28 has been a main theme for me. And also there's another one, like some of the ones from Corinthians and Amos 3:3 has really had a huge impact. Like it's made me really like realize like the totality of like who I was allowing in my life. So, you know, I've had to just like sit back and like just get more in line with God. So like I'm in a quiet place right now, but there's a lot of things like burgeoning in this life, you know, because the enemy like comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and New Age is just another mechanism. And when you think about the twin flame journey, like I mentioned in another video, it's basically essentially idolatry. You like are really focusing on self through another self, like as strange as it seems, but it's demonic. And you start to realize that because there's a lot of confusion. You know, there's a lot of abuse that you put up with. I know because I came to terms with this, I think about a year and a half ago. And so since I've been on the narrow path, and I've left behind a version of Sodom and Gomorrah, which is the community over here that I've like basically been a part of for like almost 25 years. You know, it's like not all of them, because I still have my demons that I need to be delivered from, because, you know, we all fall short of the glory. But, you know, you start to realize the quality of your life goes up, but also God does put some strength and some training requirements in there to level you up. Like one thing I've always known as a child, that I always would say to myself, if it comes easy, nothing comes easy that's ever worth it. You know, if you don't see the value in it and you just get it right off the bat, it's usually destruction. And also, like, you know, when you develop a relationship with Christ, you start to realize that a lot of these things are distractions to lead you off your path. But, you know, when God has his hand in your life, he doesn't, like, he knows everything. So it's not like he didn't know that you were going to go there, and like it's all for the greater good. So check out my favorite Bible verse for the week. They're all amazing, but Romans 8:28. And with that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday and an even better week. And I will be posting videos regularly. Thank you, and have a good one. Bye.